On behalf of the parachuters and the Spartans, I would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. At this time, please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Ryan Schulman.
Let's pray. Father in heaven, I come before you today to seek your blessing on the paratroopers of the 1FEB13.mp4 Brigade Support Battalion as they transition from the responsibility of Command Sergeant Major Guy to Command Sergeant Major Navarro. We are grateful for Sergeant Major Guy's leadership and service both in garrison and downrange. I ask that you bless him and his family as they transition to the next chapter of their lives. Father, I also pray for Sergeant Major Navarro as he steps in to guide the battalion as they continue their intense training cycle. Please fill him with wisdom to discern the times and to know what to do. Bless him and his family in the days ahead. I pray. Amen.
At this time, the commander of troops and the battalion staff are taking their positions. The S1 COIC reports that the command is formed and takes a position with the staff.
Attention! Present! Hook!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the pledge of the national anthem. In today's ceremony, we will witness a symbolic exchange of trust placed in the non-commissioned officer board for the care and keeping of the unit and its soldiers, using the non-commissioned officer sword. The non-commissioned officer sword was adopted by the War Department in 1840. It was a completely functional weapon, not intended for display, but rather for hard and dedicated use. While no longer a part of the Army's inventory, American sergeants worked for over 70 years throughout the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, and the Spanish-American War. The passing of the sword signifies the relinquishing of responsibility and authority from the outgoing command sergeant major to the incoming command sergeant major. The sword represents the cutting edge of professionalism and the living spirit of organization and its mission. The color sergeant holds the non-commissioned officer's sword, a symbol of the authority of the non-commissioned officer, and unsheathes it, exposing the sword. The color sergeant then passes the sword to the outgoing command sergeant major in final deference of his authority. The outgoing command sergeant major snaps the non-commissioned officer's sword closed, signifying his last official act as command sergeant major, and thereby cutting his ties to the unit. The outgoing command sergeant major passes the sword to the brigade command sergeant major, signifying the relinquishing of his duties and gratitude for the opportunity to care for the unit. The brigade command sergeant major accepts the sword, thereby releasing the outgoing command sergeant major from his responsibilities as the 782nd Brigade Support Battalion command sergeant major. The brigade command sergeant major then holds the sword, signifying the start of the incoming command sergeant major's responsibilities, and passes the sword to the incoming command sergeant major, charging him with the responsibility for the unit, the provision of sound advice to his commander, and the care and compassion for all soldiers, civilians, and their families. The incoming command sergeant major further draws the sword of the non-commissioned sword out of its scabbard and inspects the blade, front and back. The incoming command sergeant major then sheathes the sword, signifying his first act as the 782nd Brigade Support Battalion command sergeant major, and thereby accepts the responsibilities therein to provide his unwavering leadership and unconditional loyalty to the commander, the unit, and the United States Army. The incoming command sergeant major passes the sword to the color sergeant, symbolizing his dedication to the unit and the seamless continuity of the non-commissioned officer support channel. At this time, Sergeant Ron Woodward presents a bouquet of red roses to Mrs. Beatrice Scott, an appreciation for her dedication and commitment to Command Sergeant Major Guy in his career. Their daughters, Nicole, Brittany, and Taylor, are receiving single red roses, and their son Dylan is also receiving a small gift. At this time, Specialist Paolo Ramirez is presenting a bouquet of yellow roses to Mrs. Rose Navarro to welcome her to the Spartans. Their daughter Jada is receiving a single yellow rose, and their sons Justin and Joshua are being presented to unit points. When a soldier serves, so does the family. The family endures many moves, separations, and periods of uncommon stress. A married soldier cannot remain happy and cannot succeed during a career without the love and support of his spouse and family. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Timothy Watson and Command Sergeant Major Lee Foro will now honor Command Sergeant Major Guy and his wife Beatrice. The Legion of Merit is being presented to Command Sergeant Major Ian D. Guy for exceptional meritorious service from 20 September 1982 to 30 June 2013. Command Sergeant Major Guy has distinguished himself with exemplary youth performance in positions of great importance and responsibility. His actions reflect distinct credit upon himself, the 4th Brigade Combat Team, the 82nd Airborne Division, and the United States Army. Command Sergeant Major Guy is also being presented with the United States flag. The Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation is being presented to Mrs. Beatrice Guy on the occasion of the retirement of her husband from active duty status with the United States Army. She has earned great deal of appreciation for her own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Her unfailing support and understanding helps to make possible her husband's lasting contributions to the nation. Signed, John W. Nicholson, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment Commander, Colonel Timothy Watson.
First, I'll see if the mic is working. Are we hot? We learned that during our division, the multiple change of command we did here. Brigadier General French, Sergeant Major Knowles, other sergeant majors, commanders, family, friends, paratroopers, the 782nd Brigade Support Battalion, Fort Brigade Combat Team. Thank you all for joining us this morning. This is a great event on two accounts. First, as a recognition of changing our senior non-commissioned officer for the Spartan Battalion, and secondly for the retirement of a great sergeant major. Today, I have this privilege to honor the career and service of Command Sergeant Major Ian Guy, and welcome to the Fury Team, Command Sergeant Major Hector Navarro. Sergeant Major Navarro was walking around this week, but he was still wearing the division flash. He said he didn't want to confuse anyone, so happily he is wearing the right flash this morning. NCO and leaders of the 782nd Brigade Support Battalion, as always, the formation stands as a testament to your discipline, your training, and your professionalism. The Spartan Battalion looks great, and I'm grateful for all the effort that you put into this morning. and the contribution you made to make this ceremony special and memorable. First, we recognize the transfer of responsibility within the Spartan Battalion. In an early NCO manual, it states that the Command Sergeant Major is responsible for transmitting orders as if they're issued by the adjutant who used to do such things. He is the guardian for neatness and correctness of dress in soldierly bearing. He should be faultless. His depth of knowledge must be great, setting the example for the enlisted men of the command and also for the officers. We're fortunate to have Sergeant Major Navarro join the team, and I look forward to the time ahead. I want to welcome you and Rose and your family to the Fury team, and I can't wait to get after it after we enjoy our long Super Bowl weekend. If you were to meet Sergeant Major Guy for the first time, you would probably not guess that he's a stern disciplinarian, but we've heard. You may also not guess that he's an accomplished break dancer, but his family has told us of these things. Throughout his military career, he's taken pride in being a standard bearer that the NCO manual described, and this is acknowledged by his subordinates and his peers in his allegiance to that credo. Sergeant Major Guy enlisted in 1983. That's when Grenada happened, and most of you probably don't remember that. When there's still a Cold War going on, and there's 18 divisions in the Army. He served the past 30 years with distinction in Italy, in Germany, in the Balkans, Kuwait, and Fort Bragg. He's earned his Master Parachutist wings with over 72 jumps, his Combat Action Badge, and over 50 other awards and decorations. Despite having served the past 2 years in the Brigade Support Battalion, he is not, however, a logistician. He is really a geospatial engineer, but he hasn't done too much of that either. He served the majority of his career in the U.S. Army Civil Affairs and Psychological Operations Command as a platoon sergeant and first sergeant. And he served in practically every combat theater our Army has participated in since 1989, including Operation Just Cause in Panama, where he was wounded in action. Sergeant Major Guy also has done things somewhat in reverse. As a Sergeant Major and Senior Enlisted Advisor for GEO-level staffs, serving with NATO and ISAF to include Joe McNeil, who many of us at Fort Bragg are familiar with, before becoming a Command Sergeant Major and returning to the battalion level, which is really the hardest Sergeant Major job that's out there. In 2010, he took the most impressive challenge of assuming responsibility as the Command Sergeant Major while the battalion was deployed in Afghanistan and spread over 5 different provinces in a chaotic and southern Afghanistan. From day one, he made it business to conduct battlefield circulation, to get out and take care of paratroopers. He set the standards in discipline and inspiring troops to excel in all endeavors. He carried the battalion through another series of train-up exercises and redeployed again to southern Afghanistan, to the Maiwan-Zari district in 2012, where he was pivotal in caring for the battalion troops and families as they transitioned home last fall, and put a premium on taking care of soldiers and their families. Sergeant Major Guy's career experiences led him to master a very unique set of skills. But he always remembered that the NCO's first job was to lead. And he has taught, guided, mentored, and held multiple generations of troopers and officers to the highest standards. He comes from a great family, and they're joined with him today for this special occasion. His wife, Dee Dee, chose not to wear a uniform, but she is an active Guard Reserve Master Sergeant, serving up in the use of KPOC at Fort Hamilton, New York. The deployment schedules have kept them both apart, but now with retirement, he'll get to know his family and reintegrate, and he's exploring multiple post-retirement courses of action. Whatever he does, no doubt, he'll excel. He'll be amazingly successful, because that is his character. My advice to him is simple. Spend time with your family, spend time with your son, and explain to Dylan what the meaning of "don't tell mom" is. On behalf of the 82nd Airborne Division and a grateful nation, we thank you for your loyalty and your dedication during 30 years of service, capped off, really, by the best job for a Sergeant Major in the Army. Job well done. Be proud of what you have accomplished. Indeed, this is a great day to be a paratrooper. I thank you for the privilege of letting me honor you today. And thank everyone out here for honoring this tremendous Sergeant Major, who's truly one of America's best. Airborne, all the way, free from the sky.
Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Ian D.
I'd like to extend greetings this morning to Lieutenant General French, Commander Roberts, Commander Knowles, Brigade Battalion Commanders, Command Sergeants Major, Company Commanders, First Sergeants, distinguished guests, and family members. Commander Major, I'm planning to go over a lot of time, about a minute and 30 seconds. All right, thank you. My family and teammates formed up in front of you are truly humbled that you've chosen to spend a few minutes with us today. As my family and I close a most amazing and memorable chapter in our lives. All praise and thanks first and foremost go to Jesus Christ, my Savior, my protector, my salvation. Without his blessings, my life would be meaningless and filled with darkness. My comments this morning are truly bittersweet and filled with thank yous and humble appreciation to the thousands of U.S. and coalition soldiers, DoD civilians, and family members, past and present, that have provided me and my family with the greatest of memories as a professional and given us the closest of friends. More often than not, each has personally contributed to my maturation and assimilation into the most diverse and professional organization in the world. Even at this most incredulous moment in my life, I awoke this morning and asked myself, do I still have more to give? Did I truly live up to what I consider our most famous Army slogan, be all that you can be? It has truly been an honor and a privilege to serve for the past 30 plus years. Now it's time for my family and I to part ways with the active duty side of the service. But first, I would like to take a moment to briefly reflect and share a few snippets that I will remember, things that I've learned, and what I'll miss. I'll remember getting my first PT uniform, affectionately called the banana suit, 4 times too big so that after the first wash it don't be too small, 2 sizes too small anymore. Receiving my first official survival tool, P-38. Don't leave home without it was a moniker in my first unit long before American Express copyrighted. As a non-airborne soldier arriving at Fort Bragg in 1988, I was asked to go and sign for the keys to the drop zone. What an adventure that was. Unbeknownst to me, someone generated an airborne packet for me shortly after that. Remembering hard-fought battles in a few different countries with some of our nation's most courageous and relentless warriors, I often stood alongside them with profound admiration of their skill, camaraderie, resiliency, and personal courage. All answered the nation's call with unmatched patriotic enthusiasm. I'll remember my first road march when I was a young specialist. I showed up to training with a Nerf gun, and the first sergeant obliged me with a 70-pound sandbag, in addition to the 23 pounds I already had. I'll remember the resilient look on the faces of families whose loved one made the ultimate sacrifice for their fellow warriors in combat, and watched with pride and wry smile when reflecting on their loved one's life with valued friends. I'll remember how I felt each time my family and friends met me at Green. Least I forget, I remember how it felt when the MREs were broken open during the field exercises and getting that old, so special, and most demanding meal number 7, spaghetti. Mentorship from leaders like First Sergeant Sierra, Sergeant First Class Bermudez, Staff Sergeant Richardson, and Major General Layfield. I've learned that compassion is an acceptable passage to honor, that courage is contagious and often the most decisive point of victory. I've learned that our investment in professional relationships keeps units moving in a positive direction, that the information technology superhighway, while expeditious in moving information throughout the force, does not replace the human touch needed to solidify a team. Understanding that taking the time to get to know one another, what truly makes us tick, may be a lost art for some, but needed even more than ever today to help strengthen and support every teammate in our families. I've learned that being a squad leader is a tough freaking job. I've learned from professional experience that rehabilitation does work when engaged by the right leadership and embraced for those who truly want to recalibrate their moral compass. I've learned that it's much easier and meaningful to teach and train shared experiences in concert with doctrine, with an audience that respects us because we respect them. We must truly mean it when we tell our soldiers that they are our most valuable asset. Utilizing the same urgency when private guys missing from the formation as we do when sensitive items are unaccounted for demonstrates that we walk the walk and not just talk the talk. I've learned that soldiers in the unit know personal friction points, often before the leaders do, but won't share if there's no loyalty or trust. I was told long ago that soldiers don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I've learned that the unit and personal discipline is the cornerstone of success, and that superior counseling reaffirms the oath of enlistment. All soldiers want to be accountable and responsible for something. I've learned that we must continue to provide multiple opportunities to excel at all levels and spotlight individual and collective accomplishments for all to see. Make everyone, to include our families, relevant. I've learned that challenging ourselves to higher education benefits everybody and allows us to sit next to the smartest person in the room and keep up. I've learned that more often than not, units don't suck. Maybe it's the people in the unit. If I was assigned there, then I'd probably suck too. Instead, be proactive and become the change that you would like change to become. I've learned that family readiness group, guided by caring and compassion verses, are amazing. No unit can truly drink from the cup of success without tying it all back to that phenomenal team. What I'll miss? Everything. I would like to say thank you to all the officers, NCOs, and junior enlisted that helped me get it right more often than not, thus allowing me to have my career. There are too many names to name, but all have impacted my life more than they will ever know. I would like to say thank you to my close and personal friends who could not attend, and those in attendance today. Your candid counsel, personal and professional throughout the years, has been priceless. Your friendship has been unconditional and has stood the test of time. Thank you to my brothers and sisters. As an adopted child, diversity and acceptance was the first taught at home. While we all don't look alike, our hearts are all filled with the same love. So don't forget to give your brother a call for those future cookouts and family trips. I think I can make these. Thank you, Mom, God rest her soul, for providing the lessons a young man in distress would need in order to be a productive member of society. My first lesson of unconditional love came from you. Thank you to my children. It is truly a joy to have you all in the same place at the same time. This doesn't happen too often. I'm thankful to all of you for always calling me Daddy, even when I broke those promises Daddies were supposed to keep. Know that you have made me as proud as a father could be, and I look forward to the new and exciting memories we're going to make. And last but not least, to my wife, Beatrice. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life. devotion to duty as a paratrooper is only trumped by your devotion as a loving mother, friend, and wife. While we have been separated by assignments for most of our marriage, your unwavering resolve to keep us as much of a normal family as possible has been nothing less than spectacular. I look forward to getting on the same plane with you and visiting some of those warm, sunny places we read about without having to implement the in-hour sequence in a packing list. I love you. As I slip away today under clear skies and somewhat moderate winds, I would like to thank everyone again, past and present, for being a part of a phenomenal and unforgettable journey that my family and I will remember for the rest of our lives. Godspeed, appreciate cognito, fury from the sky, all the way airborne.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Old Soldiers Never Die, the All-American Soldier, and the Army Song.
Service concludes the ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony.